Now guys, believe me, making a robot is quite an easy task. To make a robot, you're going to need the following stuff. A soldering iron, it's hot, and soldering wire. Now this is the chassis or the outer body of the robot. It has 4 holes, as you can see here. These are for the tires. Screwdrivers, screws. Now this is the connecting wire which you will be needing to connect the various parts of the whole robot. It is specially made for making robots. A multimeter for rectification and debugging. These are batteries, simple 9-volt batteries. We are using only one battery, you can use as many as you want. Then we'll be requiring 4 DC geared motors. They have 100 RPM and 10 kg/cm torque. Each motor is for a single tire, remember that. Now we'll be also needing 4 tires, 2 for the front and 2 for the rear. Now this is the most important part of the remote control. This is a DPDT. You will be needing 2 DPDTs. DPDT stands for double pole, double throw, and as you can see here, it has 8 pins with each pair, right? It has two pins or a single pair above, and it has 3 pairs below, or 3 pairs above and a single pair below. I've named them for simplification or ease of making the circuit: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, now this is your PCB or printed circuit board. It is used to make the remote control assembly quite compact, and using a PCB you can actually solder the DPDT and all the pins easily. I've already attached one DPDT to the PCB. Now this is actually pretty much it, the whole stuff. Now guys, let's start making the robot. So the first part in the making of the remote is making the remote. Okay, now the first thing is you have to attach the DPDT to the PCB. Okay, now it's an easy thing. You have to just insert the pins into the holes. Okay, now I've easily attached this whole DPDT to the PCB. Now remember one thing, the DPDT should be attached in a similar way or identical way as to the previous DPDT. Okay, by that I mean that the first 3 pairs of the pins should be above, and the below pair should be below. Okay, and now I'm explaining the circuit. After joining the whole circuit, it will look like this. Okay, you might be remembering that I have named it as A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H, and this is the second DPDT. Now you have to attach the wires. Now the wires are made by pink or red color, whatever you call it. Join A wire to the H pin, join B to G. Now this is for the power supply. Okay, now wires from G and H will go to your 9-volt battery, and you have to similarly attach the wires in the second DPDT. Okay, and from G you have to move your wire to G dash, from H to H dash. Okay, this is just an easy thing. Okay, I'll revise it again: A to H, B to G, G to G dash, and H to H dash. Okay, now second part is for the motors. You have to attach the E pin to one motor, to one polarity of the motor, and F part to the second pin of the motor. Now this DBDT will it will handle or control the left part or the left tires of your robot, and this will control the right part of your robot. Okay, now these two wires will go to another motor. Okay, this will go to the left motor and this will go to the right motor. Now, as I have explained how the circuit will be connected, now we are really going to connect the wires and the pins. Okay, now this is a soldering iron. Guys, please be careful in handling this. Okay, it can cause serious injury, so please be careful. Okay, now a solder wire is made of tin and it easily sticks to the copper. Okay, so we are going to connect this wire to a pin. Okay, now melt the solder wire on the pin. Okay, yeah, it's melted. Now when the solder falls on it, you keep it molten. And now easily attach the wire. Okay, now it's quite simple to attach this wire. Okay, it has been easily attached. Guys, to attach wheels to the chassis, you'd require motors. Okay, now this is an important part because you require one motor for each tire. This is a battery, these are two motors, and this is the chassis. Okay, now I'm opening the screw. Okay, attach this. It's quite easy. Remove this screw and attach it. Okay, now if you have seen a simple car moving, okay, two tires on one side move in the same direction. Okay, they don't move in an opposite direction. Okay, so the motor should also move in, the two motors should also move in the same direction, not in the opposite direction. Otherwise, what's the point of making the whole car? It won't move. Okay, now I'm testing that. Okay, these are the two pins of the motor. Okay, now I'm attaching the battery to the two pins. Now this motor is moving backwards, as you can see here, right? I'm just testing it. Okay, see, now the second motor is moving forward. See, now the purpose of the car wouldn't be achieved if the two motors move in opposite direction. Okay, so to correct this mistake, you have to invert the motor. Okay, the polarities of the motor should be inverted. See how I've inverted it? Just that. It's easy. Okay, now just take it. This motor is moving backwards. It's again moving. Wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah, now it's moving backwards. See? See, now it's moving backwards. It's as simple as that. Now you will do same thing for the other two sides, and that's it. Your motors are attached. Thank you. Now guys, I've finished making and connecting the wires. Okay, now this has been made just similar to the image that I had shown you. Okay, now I've connected pin A to pin H and the protruding wire pin B to the pin G. Okay, and similarly it has been connected in this DPDT also. Okay, now the battery has been connected from pin G to pin H. Okay, and from pin E to pin F I've taken out the wire for the motors. Okay, Now similarly from E dash to F dash also I have taken out 2 wires for the motors, and these are 2 pairs of the motors, right? Now this pair will control the left part of the tires, okay, and this part will control the right part, okay. Now guys, I've finished making the car, okay. I've connected the left part and the right part of the motors separately, okay. Now the left part is in parallel and the right part is also in parallel. This motor has been connected to the other motor on the left side, positive terminal to the positive terminal, negative to negative, and same here, okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the remote control, okay, to the car. Now these are 2 pairs of wires that were coming from the 2 DPDTs, okay. Now this wire, this pair was coming for the left control, okay. Now I'm going to connect this to the left side of the motor, okay, of the car, and this one I'm going to connect to the right side. As you can see now, I have connected the remote control to the car. These 2 wires have been now connected to the motors, okay. Now the last step, I'm going to connect the tires, okay. Now I just have to tighten the screws. Now the last tire is complete. So I've connected all the tires, I've screwed them up. Now I'm going to invert this, okay. Now this is your robot. Your robot is complete. Yippee-ki-yay, mother of all robot makers.